Yes. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I just want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. I know it's Thanksgiving season. Well, really, Thanksgiving gratitude is a way of life. It's a way of being. If you're a Christian or if you study success, you know that Thanksgiving is not a day, it's not a season, it's a way of life. And it's just a time right now that we actually elevate it or take it to another level. But if you are not thankful on the everyday level, then you're foolish. You're a fool to think that you got what you have and you can do what you can do, like breathing and getting wealth and just existing on your own. That's foolish. And the second reason why gratitude and thankfulness should be a way of life is because the law of attraction, what you focus on will expand. When you're thinking grateful thoughts, you're thanking God for everything that you have and everything that is in your life. You don't have time, you don't have space to think about the negative. So those are two reasons why gratitude is a way of life, even though I know in this season we kind of elevate it and we celebrate it more. But it would be foolish to think that you have things on your own or can do things on your own without giving thanks. So I definitely know people want to get back to preparing for their families to come or preparing to travel with their families. So I just wanted to drop a few nuggets about how being weary and well doing, which is a scripture from the Bible, and how we can look at it a different way. Now, I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher by gifting and calling, that I have the gift of teaching, and that I minister. I'm a minister and I do teaching. So I will a lot of times reveal things or uncover things in a different light. Just like you can read the same scripture in the Bible, and because of God's anointing and because of the gift you have, if you have the gift of healing and you're a doctor or you're in the medical profession, you will see something totally different in that scripture than somebody else who is a financial guru, or someone else who is a teacher, or someone else who just has a different gift. So I am going to look at it a little differently. You've heard of Galatians 6:9 that says, be not weary in well doing, because if you don't faint, you'll reap in due season. Don't be weary in well doing. And a lot of times we look at that in the physical in the spiritual side, to say mentally you become discouraged because you're doing the right thing and people may persecute you, people may antagonize you, you may have things that are against you. You have adverse situations and you become mentally and spiritually drained or challenged because of doing well, doing the right thing. But being that I focus a lot and I talk about creating wealth and about getting your financial stuff in order after you get your internal things in order, how it will reflect on the outside, I looked at that. God showed me that in a different light. That scripture that says, don't be weary in well doing. And if we say well doing, we can flip it around and say doing well. Don't be wearied physically. Don't get torn down, beaten down, worn out physically, spending the best years of your life doing well. Not well doing as in the right thing, but doing well, doing average, doing what is, as I spoke of in another webinar a couple weeks ago, doing the American dream, working your 9 to 5, having maybe 2 weeks of vacation a year, looking forward to the weekend, but just being in the hustle and bustle, being in that rat race, living paycheck to paycheck, or just, doing well. You say, well, I got the house, I got the car, even though you're in debt. And if you miss a payment or you miss a check, then something's going on, and your family's uncomfortable. But doing well, that's doing well. When people say, I have a little money to get gifts, or they're putting gifts on the credit card for Christmas and birthdays, which is bondage, but you're doing well. You're doing what the Joneses do, or what the American life is supposed to be like. And that is called, I was somewhere and a mentor revealed to me the 70-year plan. We live in an economy, we live in a system here in America of the 70-year plan, where you are trained to go to school, get a good education, go and get a good job, just over broke, work very hard, and then hopefully retire, when you're 65, 70 years. So you spend the best years of your life, the prime of your life, working, hustling, bustling, trying to make it happen, trying to take care of your family. A lot of times people are working 2 and 3 jobs, or people are working very strenuous jobs. They miss out on time with their family. They miss out on enjoying life, and they're just waiting for the weekend. It's TGIF. They're just waiting for a vacation. They're waiting for the next break because they're trapped in jobs that they hate, or jobs that they have to exert too much of their energy physically and mentally, and they just don't have enough time to enjoy life. They're living, but they're not enjoying life, okay? Or they're existing, but they're really not living. And so when we become weary in well-doing, wearied means to make tired, to become worn. Wearied in well-doing, spending the majority of your life hustling and bustling, chasing a dollar, rather attracting money and having it come to you. Because you guys know one of my mantras, I'm a money magnet. Every day new money finds me. I'm a money master. Every day my money finds me new money. And a lot of my students are probably repeating that with me right now. So let me know you're out there. I see your comments. I see your likes and your thumbs up. Just let me know you're out, that you're registering, and that I know you're taking a little bit of time. I'm going to make this shorter than my usual lives, because I know people, have things to do for their family and that kind of thing. But just give me some word. Let me know that you're out there. And I want you to give me some feedback, because we know active learning is what helps you to retain more. When you are jotting things down, when you are typing, when you are saying, repeating things, when you are putting a picture to it, when you're doing something to make it real in your life, then you will retain it more than rather somebody just pouring it into you. So becoming weary in well-doing is being a part of that 70-year plan, spending the bulk of your time just hustling and bustling, working too hard. You got aches and pains, you got mental stresses and strains, because you are working in somebody's system. And this system was never designed to make you wealthy. It was never designed to make you financially and professionally free, to do what you love and love what you do, and to get paid very well to do it, or to just relax and spend the majority of your time with your family, or taking care of yourself, getting enough rest, getting enough relaxation, enough recuperation. The system wasn't designed to that. The system, if you know about Social Security, when it came about, it was a Ponzi scheme, meaning some money is supposed to be there, and it's pretty much a shell or a phantom. Is not really there, because they're taking money from here to put there, and when it's time that you need it, it's supposed to be there. But when Social Security came about and you were supposed to retire and get it at 65, the average age of living then was between 60 and 62. So it's like the government borrowing your money, taking this money out of it's a payroll deduction. It comes out of your check before you ever get it. Uncle Sam doesn't trust us. So they take it before we ever get it, and they promise to pay it back with interest when you reach a certain year, so that you have some income that you can retire on. And most people, if you know now, they'll say it's not nearly enough to retire on, so you need to have other investments and things working for you. But they borrowed that money with the intention of never paying it back when the system was created, and now it's coming back to bite them, because people are living longer now, and so therefore people are requiring their money, and it's causing some problems. So that's the discussion you've heard about people saying, Social Security might not be around when I retire, or when my kids retire, or it might not be enough. Those things are true. It definitely isn't enough, because I know somebody, I think that the most of the people that I know that receive is about $900 a month. I don't know how many people can live well, or even live adequately on $900 a month. So you have to have some supplemental things, some other investments, and have some things working for you if you want to sustain life. And not just sustain life, but you've worked all your life. If you've been in this 70-year plan, you want to have an even better, higher quality of life. But that's not real for a lot of people. So the thing is this: getting you out of that 70-year plan so you can have the wealth that God created for you. God gave us the ability to create wealth. He says that we should have land, be in a land that flows with milk and honey. Okay, you guys know that that's the name of my business. That's part of the prophecy given to me and what I have. But the land that flows in with milk and honey means you have substance and style. You're going to be full, and it's going to taste good. It's going to be something you can enjoy, and something that fulfills you as well. God promised that to us, but so many people are stuck in that system, in the rat race, that 70-year plan, working for somebody all these years, and they give you a doggone plaque or a plastic pleather band watch or some foolishness, and they don't even have an adequate retirement. They've been investing in some foolishness. Now, I'll say this, that I worked in the school system for about 13 years. And the money that my retirement plan made me in about 13 years, I surpassed that in about 6 months of training, of doing what I do. And you'll learn more about that if you come to the seminar. And some people say, well, and I know people who are wealthy, who are doing well, who are doing great in real estate, doing great in stocks. And they're like, why is she, bragging about this? Why is she? No, I'm not trying to impress you. I'm trying to impress upon you that there's a way out of the rat race, out of this 70-year plan. where the government wants to use you, okay, to take care of the poor, which if much is given to you, much is required. I have no problem with that. But to pretty much work in it's the ism of capital. It's capitalism where, you know, people work in factories and they can't even afford the products that they make. And that's sad, but that's true for a lot of people in America. And so the reason why I share this and I teach this, because I'm a teacher, and so it's my calling to, once I know something that's empowering, to present it in a way that other people can be empowered. And the second reason is because I know better. I know what it's like to be broke. I know what it's like to be on the other end, but I also know what it's like to have and to be free and to travel and to just have time to spend with your family and pretty much do what you love what you do, empower people, do what you love, and just feel freaking energized because you're doing what God called you to do. And people thank you every day and send me messages and say, thank you for helping me. Thank you for teaching me this. Thank you so much that you showed me how to get rid of this part-time job, or I'm getting ready to retire, really, because you showed me. I'm so grateful. When you do that kind of stuff, what God called you to do, your gift will make room for you and bring you before great men. And those great men is not necessarily saying you're going to go to the president and that kind of thing. It says a lot of times those men aren't even great yet. It's what you bring to them that will help them, that will empower them just by living what God called you to do. It's a beautiful thing when we live in our purpose and we do what God called us to do. So the reason I'm teaching this is because, I don't want to keep it all to myself and try to act like I'm a part of this elite group. Like some people, it's like, oh, I got it, but they don't want to share it. They don't want to tell you how they got wealthy in real estate, or how they are doing in the stock market, or how they did this or did that. But I'm called by God. I am commissioned to do that. And I also know what it's like. It feels freaking awesome. It's liberating to be able to give to the poor, to be able to leave a huge tip, and people are crying and like, are you sure you meant to leave this? Or to just bless people when they're in need. That's a wonderful thing. The Bible says that the poor will always be with us. And so the Bible also says that God gives his people the ability to get wealth. So which one do you want to be? Okay. The Bible says if you give to the poor, you lend to the Lord. I don't know about you, but lending means that you get interest with it. So I would rather lend to the Lord, where I'm going to get interest and be able to give to the poor. I would rather be that person giving than the person that is in need of receiving. So that's where that word comes, that it's more blessed to give than receive. That's true. And the average broken mindset person would not understand it. Like, that's foolish. It's better to receive. It's great to receive, but it's also freaking awesome to be in a position to give, to bless people financially, spiritually, educational wise, just giving people stuff that's going to take them to another level. So a couple questions that usually I give these, what is called an anticipation guide. For those of you who are professional educators, like where I come from, anticipation guide. You give some questions and some little teasers before your students watch a video so they don't fall asleep or they don't use this as playtime. You give them something that piques their interest and has them looking and searching. So a lot of times I give these little teasers, these anticipation guides, to lead you and invite you to my Facebook Live or to my seminar, which is coming up. And so one thing I put on there is what are the most popular stores and cars driven by wealthy people, and why is it important to you? Some people were like, I don't really need to know that. It's very important that you know that if you want to be financially free, you want to get out of that 70-year plan, you want to get out of the rat race, you want to be free to do what you love and love what you do, to give back, to have the time and the money to live the life that God has called you to live, to serve, to give, to bless others. And so this is it. The most popular stores of the wealthy, of millionaires, rich people, okay? Ross, TJ Maxx, what's the other one? Ross, TJ Maxx is another one I'm looking for. That Marshalls, those type stores, those are the top stores that millionaires and wealthy people purchase from. Okay, do they wear Gucci? Do they wear Prada? Some of them, but a large majority of them don't. Usually the celebrities that you see are the people that are faking like celebrities and reality stars. They only make up about 1% to 2% of wealthy people. You see more wealthy people on a daily basis in the F-150 next to you or in the grocery store than you notice, because they're not a lot of times flashing. Do they wear fine clothing? Yes, it's all about quality. And I'll say Ralph Lauren because I like Lauren, not necessarily Polo, but I like some of Lauren's brands because he's a great designer. But I trade Polo, so I trade Ralph Lauren stock. So I'm gonna big up. I know a lot of people love it. my nieces and nephews, or my nephews, and some of my students when I was at the high school, they love polo. And like I said, Lauren's a great and excellent designer. And like I said, I'm trading it. So if you love it, if you like it, I love it. But wealthy people, they wear polo, but they don't buy it from the department store at full price. They will go to Ross. They will go to the Ralph Lauren outlet. And so what they do, they spend more money on investments rather than on consumption. Yes, they like nice things and they have high quality things. They're not going to have a piece of crap car that's going to put them down or put their family at risk, but they're not going to pay full price for anything. These are some things that you will learn if you come to the seminar. You're not going to pay full price for anything. Not even stocks. Everything is negotiable. Even going to your doctor, the services are negotiable. That's the mindset of the wealthy. Why is it important to you to know that rich people are not necessarily driving Lamborghinis and Aston Martins and big Benzes and that kind of thing? And like it's great if you want to do that. And I had the privilege to own a very nice luxury car. And it's funny how people treat you differently when you have that. I had it for about 2 years. It was very accommodating. It was nice, but due to some other things, I had a baby and some other things, and just not really thinking that it was all that it was cracked up to be. So I didn't keep it for longer than about 2 years. But it's funny how people treated me and the comments that were made to me and that. But it's fine because you should treat yourself. And if you're in the cars, if you're in the clothes, you know, I like clothes, I like travel, I like food. You should treat yourself. You should, you know, buy that super fantastic Gucci or whatever you want to do sometimes. But one thing is this: never pay full price. And secondly, a lot of times that rich, wealthy people go for substance and style. They don't just want the style with no substance and substance with no style. The top driven cars by wealthy people, the everyday millionaires that you see and probably don't even know: Toyota Camrys, Honda Accords, F-150s. Okay, these are common everyday cars. I know a millionaire right now. He has probably maybe 30, 40 drugstores around here. His family has a fleet of Camrys, of Toyota Camrys. Okay, they range in age, but they have Toyota Camrys. I know another guy. He drives his F-150. He has a lot of real estate around here. F-150. These people, a lot of times, they're into what they're doing, whether they're in construction, farming, oil, and so their wife may have, you know, some type of nice SUV, and you know, for the family, for the kids. But a lot of times they look like the average Joe on the street, but they're millionaires, multi-millionaires. And I know because I have the privilege to know some, to be mentored by some, and just to look at some from afar. So the reason why you need to know this is because guess what? I want to share with you and change your mindset to know that it's not that hard to be wealthy. Is it challenging? Okay. Will you have to change some things? Yes. Like a guy told one of my mentors, I want you to become a millionaire, not for the money, but because who you will have to become to get it. Because becoming a millionaire, okay, a multimillionaire, you have to change some things. You have to change your mindset. And it's not impossible. It's not even as hard as people seem or make it seem. You just have to get the information and learn to condition yourself, discipline yourself to apply it. And that's why I love to teach, and teach in a way that people can understand and they can take it for face value and say, hey, I love that. I want to do that. I want it. It seems like something I can do. I'm watching her and I see it, at fruition in her life. So let me take it and apply it. So the reason why I want you to know that rich, wealthy people shop at Ross and TJ Maxx, and they drive Camrys and they drive Hondas and Toyotas is because to let you know that you can start today and do something different. Most people who are wealthy don't get it from inheritance. Okay, about 3/4 of them are first generation wealthy, meaning it's not old money. They did it on their own. They're not superstars and celebrities. That's only about 2% of wealthy people. It's average, common, everyday people who started doing extraordinary, above, better than average things that they learned from wealthy people. Having mentors, doing things like the extra money you're going to spend on that doggone $1,000 car note, which is ridiculous, that can be in a stock account. And some of my students are on here right now are using small accounts between $2,000 and $5,000 to make $160 a week, $250 a week, just doing things is just putting money into things that they would never, or rates of return they would never get in a CD or a bank. It would be laughable at a bank to think that you're going to make $150 in 2 weeks or in a month. Okay, it's ridiculous. It would never happen. But when you start consuming like the wealthy, meaning you still can buy high quality things, but buy them at a discount. Okay, they frequent thrift shops. Okay, outlets and factory stores, couponing and that kind of stuff. A lot of stuff you will learn when you come to the seminar. They consume well, they live well. They're not living in a cardboard box and eating ramen noodles, but they know how to get things at a discount. That's the mindset of the wealthy, because everything that they save, guess what? To the wealthy, money is not a harvest, it's a seed. Money is used for me to make some more money. It's not used for me just to gobble it up and spend it. Okay, it's used for me to say, okay, I just got this. Can I buy another apartment building? Can I add some more to my stock account? And so living well, you can do it, okay? You can have the land that flows with milk and honey. You can live well and still be able to invest. If you learn to consume like the wealthy, save like the wealthy, and invest like the wealthy. Those are the only three things you can do with your money. Consume it, save it, invest it. And if you learn how to do those three things like the wealthy, meaning consume, have a good time, enjoy your life, but know when it's time to cut back so you can build your account so that account can make money for you, versus just having liabilities. You will have assets. So learning how to save money where it counts. It's okay if you want to wear, high-end stuff. If you want, it's okay, but there's a way to not pay full price for it, because retail is ripping you a new one. Okay, retail capitalism, they're really getting over on you if you're paying full price for that stuff. And so to get out of that 70-year plan, you got to have some money making money for you. That's this bottom line. If you only work a 9-to-5, you work a job or you're taxed, you will never be able to be wealthy. Okay, you might, rack up some money, you might be doing okay, but wealthy and financially free and independent, you will never be able to, because our tax system takes a lot, and also because the system, the wages that they pay is never enough to sustain you. And when it's calculated, like I said, there are a lot of workers who work at big time factories, work good jobs, as people say, in the brewery or in the mill somewhere, but they still can't even afford to purchase the things that they're making, and that's a shame. Don't you think it's odd? Do you think it's ridiculous that people, and I'm sure you may be one of them, and if you are, thank God that you're on here, because your life is changing now. But I'm sure plenty of people, and register, type something up if you do, that work all the time but are always broke. Work all the time but are always broke. Plenty of people in my family, that's the way I came up, surrounded by people like always working too many jobs, pain in their legs, pain in their back, just working too many jobs but always broke. That doesn't add up. That doesn't add up. That goes back to a post that I posted a few weeks back. Money or lack of money is never the problem. It's your mindset about money. It's what you think. Poor people think money is a harvest, that, oh, I've got it, let's spend it, let's do it. Okay. Rich people say it's a seed. Let me use it to make more money. Money is a tool. I'm a money master. I tell money what to do, not money telling me what to do. Most people, look at your life and look at the people around you. Are most of the decisions that they make because of money, because money is telling them, you got to get up and go to work. You can't go to your child's game. You can't do this. You can't do that, because you got to go to work, because money is a master. And the Bible says money cannot be your master. But if you don't have your stuff lined up, money will in fact be your master. Okay. And so when you learn to think like the wealthy, okay, they give you a couple tips that you would never know. This is the kind of stuff I'm going to teach you. Like, you have to come to the Financial Empowerment Workshop. Become one of the few people, okay, that 3% that owns 95% of the wealth in America. Come to that workshop. You want to be part of the few, not the many, not the herd, not the crowd. Let me give you a couple things that you probably didn't know when I say think like the rich. Okay, something that I learned in my training when I spent tens of thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours, which I love. I was charged. Sometimes I drove in the middle of the night, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, getting home, and went to school and taught 6, 7:30 the next morning, because I was juiced, because I'm doing what I love. Teaching and learning is my gift, and I love it. Okay, but a couple things that I learned. Let me share a couple things that you probably would never know. Okay, wealthy people have certain numbers that they go by. Millionaires specifically. Okay, people who are wealthy, they believe in double-digit financing. Okay, that means they're not going to loan money unless it's double-digit interest rate or above. They will loan you money at 10% or above. Okay, and because of that, that's why you always need to keep yourself in a position where you don't have to loan. You're not borrowing money for consumables, for goods that are going to waste away, food, vacation, clothing, that kind of stuff. Now, there's OPM You use your financing to buy a property. Okay, you borrow money, but that money is going to make you money, because for those people who know play the cash flow game with me, you know it. Okay, you know that you spend $5,000 on a down payment, you get the 95 grand from the bank. Okay, so your mortgage may be, let's say, $800. Okay, your payment per month. You charge your tenants $1,100. Okay, so they pay the $800 and then $300 cash flow in your pocket. So you had a loan. Okay, you didn't have anything but $5,000 in your pocket. You may have gotten from saving or income tax refund, but you have a house that's making you $300 a month. And then after it's paid off, you will own that house and you can rent it out again and again. But you got to have your credit right to do that. Your name has to be good. And you got to have that $5,000, okay, or that $2,000 or whatever. Like for 100,000, you probably, what is 3%? You probably need $3,000. But that's the kind of stuff people think that you need money to make money. You don't. You need to keep your name clear, versus how I was brought up that you spend everything you earn, and even that what you don't have not earned by putting stuff on credit, but it was buying clothes and shoes and foolish stuff, versus getting your credit and keeping your credit tight so you can borrow money from the bank for investments. And then you have gotten wealthy off of other people's money. Okay, we live in a society, we live in the greatest country in the world, where you can use OPM to get out of the rat race, to get ahead, if you know what you're doing. But you got to be around the right people who know this type of stuff. So double-digit interest rates. Wealthy people are not going to borrow consumables or consumer debt at double-digit interest rates, but when they loan money, they're going to loan it at a double-digit interest rate. Okay, and also when they make investments, they don't go for anything less than double digits. When I learned that, and I was sitting in a seminar, and somebody said 10% is okay, but that's on a bad day. We don't want anything less than about 48% return on investment. And I'm thinking 48%, and I'm looking at my savings account that's like 0.048%, okay, where I'm making $2 or $3 a year. Okay, they don't go for anything less than that. Well, I learned it can be done. That one of my accounts right now, my stock trading accounts, is at 32%, and that's on like a bad day. I've only been trading for 3 months out of that account. I know it can be done, and that's why I want to show you how you can get out of that 70-year plan, how you can make your money work for you. You can totally be free at a young age. Somebody looked at, I went somewhere to put in a flyer, and I told the guy, I was like, yeah, I'm a retired educator as well. He said, retired? You don't look old enough to be retired. Retired has nothing to do with age. It has everything to do with money. Okay, it has everything to do with doing what you love. Because even before I left the school system, I was retired because I declared I would never work another day in my life, because I would always be doing what God gifted me to do. And my aunt said something that was so wonderful the other day. I don't know if she coined it, but I'm going to give her props for it. Okay, my aunt Cynthia, she said, she told her workers, okay, that the people that work under her, that when you work hard at something that you don't like, it's stress. But when you work hard at something that you love, it's called passion. And that's, like I said, I've been up for hours, days at a time, traveling, speaking, running from one place to the next to get in and do certain things, going in my class teaching, and doing it because I was running on adrenaline, because I freaking am blessed to do what I love and to love what I do and to get paid handsomely to do it, letting my gift make room for me. So those double-digit numbers is what I go by now. I don't make investments if it's less than a double-digit return. I don't do that. Like I said, double digits is 10% and more. My average ARC, average return on capital for the year, okay, my mentor said don't go for less than 48%. That's what I'm going with, and it works well. So I want to teach you how to do this, how it's possible. Now, like I said, I'm not into real estate like that yet. We have a property by default, but we're not into that. We will, because as you will learn in Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad, the 3 pillars of wealth, okay, are real estate, paper assets such as stocks and bonds, okay, and businesses. If you want to be wealthy, you need to have your hand in all 3, okay? And so, but I want to perfect stock investing first. So that's some of the things I will show you. But guess what? I've been talking about all these webinars. You got to have the mindset and the skill set, okay? Because if you have the skill set and you make that money, but you don't have the mindset, you're just going to lose it, okay? Or you think that the only way you're going to be wealthy, that, oh, that's just, I don't want to listen to that because I'm just the average Joe and I'm not a superstar. I haven't won the lottery, so there's no way I can be wealthy. That is bull crap. Okay, God has given us the ability to get wealth. All you have to do is do what the wealthy people do. Okay, I love the fact I am a Christian. I am saved. I love God. I love Christ. I'm a minister in teaching, And when I go to success seminars, when I'm traveling all over the world, doing business and personal development, all the principles pretty much are God principles. I don't have to compromise anything. Like some, people and some things, everything is backed up by the Bible. And that's why I love the fact that I just took a different view I took what God gave me on this scripture, Galatians 6:9. Being weary and well doing is not about just getting tired of doing the right thing. It's about getting weak, doing average or well. You are doing well doing, and you've gotten used to that and accustomed to that, and you stick to that, and that's the way you spend the majority of your life. You get weakened and burdened down, and the next thing you look up and you're 70, 80 years old, thinking that you're going to retire. But you're not. You're realizing that instead of increasing the quality of your life to reward you for all the years you worked, you have to decrease it because Social Security is crap. Your 401k might have been crap. Or you don't have a 401k, you've just been consuming all your money. That's the kind of thing that I want you to avoid because it's very much avoidable. It's not so far reach that you can be wealthy. I did it. I came from a very poor background. I came from those people who know my story. The enemy was bold in my life in taking over my family. So I'm bold in what I do now. That I empower minds to change lives. This is what I do. I'll put myself out there. If you're called to me, okay, I'm here for you. I'm going to offer you things that are going to help you empower your mind and change your life. I have students now who are well on their way. I have people right now waiting to sign up with me. And it's wonderful. It's freaking awesome because God has blessed me and I'm just sharing the blessing. And it's blessing my life to bless so many people, to help so many people and just to do great things. So I'm really grateful for this. This is in this season, like I said, where we are taking our attitude of gratitude to another level and we celebrate on a higher level and we do bigger and better things in the area of Thanksgiving around this time, but we know it's a lifestyle. I just want to be grateful that I am blessed with the gift of teaching and learning and that so many people are able to come along with me. Okay, so let me come back from that. But the reason why that you have to learn how wealthy people spend their money, how they invest their money only at double-digit returns, never paying full price for anything. Like I said, it's good to treat yourself if you really want this, because that's how you achieve goals in life. You are motivated. You see what you want. You put it before your face every day. So if you're really into cars and you want that sports car, or you want that certain house, or you want this, nevertheless go after it, but not when it's costing you investments, not when it's you're putting yourself in a position where you could be out of the rat race. You could be at home doing what you love or freeing your mind up to learn to be a top performer in what it is God called you to do. But a lot of people don't even have that freedom because they're so stressed out and so strained of trying to work several jobs or jobs that they hate or jobs that demand so much of them, just trying to stay ahead because they don't learn this kind of stuff. But God has said, I want you to live in your gift, to share your gift with the world, but you can't even make investments to get that going, your side business, rather than turning that into your life work. You just feel so fearful. I know so many people. It's so sad. This is why I love what I do. And I'm always going to be bettering myself and sacrificing to gain value that I can add to the world, because I know so many people in my family, in my church, in my community, people that I see from afar, people that I have worked with in the past who have gifted hands. And I mean that they are so talented. They have $1 million and multi-million-dollar skills, but because of fear, because of ignorance, because of lack of knowledge, and I don't mean ignorance derogatory because I'm ignorant in a lot of areas. Ignorance just means you don't know. But because they don't know this type of information, because they won't empower themselves, they never step out and somebody's exploiting them. In this world we live in, capitalism, somebody is using their skills, sitting at the top in a big leather bound chair, calling orders and calling shots, while they're at the bottom working their butts off and they only get the crumbs. Like I said, so much so that in capitalism, the people work in these big factories and they can't even afford to purchase what they produce, what they stand on the assembly line and produce all day long. It's sad, but I know this to be true. I know people that I've known for my entire life that are in this position, have gifted hands, are just the truth when it comes to whatever they do, whether they're hairstylists, whether they're bakers, whether they're cooks, whether they're whatever they do, but because they don't have this information, because they operate in fear rather than love and freedom, because they don't know the principles, the universal success principles of God, okay, about using money to work for you and mastering money and commanding money and disciplining yourself and having your mindset right. They will always, and a lot of them I've seen already go to their grave with all these gifts, but no wealth. And God has given us the ability to get wealth. So this is why I do what I do. This is why I love what I do. And I want to help you get out of that 70-year plan. A couple other things. Your mindset. I talked to you about your mindset. Making sure you don't start your day off at somebody else's command. Okay. A lot of people have an addiction. They're looking at their phone first thing in the morning. They're looking at the news first thing in the morning. Guess what? Let me show you how this psychology works, how you're defeating yourself, how you're keeping yourself broke, busted, and disgusted. And I don't mean just for the day, I mean in life, because it trickles down. When you wake up in the morning and you are reactive or responsive to something, you are responding, okay? You are reacting to whatever text or email has come in on your phone or whatever's on the news, okay? That means you have lost control of your day. When you wake up and the first thing you look at is causing some kind of, it's deducing some kind of action or reaction from you, whether it's something crappy that you heard about on the news, some crime or something horrible that has happened, or responding to an email or a text or something like that. That means you don't have control over your day or your time, because somebody has already reached in, and before you can even spend that hour of power, that first hour of the day, that last hour of the day, those bookends that capture your success, okay? You've already let somebody come in and demand something of you, a response or a reply. Psychologically, your mind is saying that I don't have control over my own life. I have to always respond and be reactive to somebody doing something rather than me getting up, thanking God for the day, thanking God for everything that's positive that will happen, everything that I'm going after today, and just setting my plan for the day, getting up slowly, stretching, getting yourself ready. You have no locus of control. And guess what? Most people who feel depressed and who are medicating their feelings is because they don't feel like they have control over their life. Wealthy people say, hey, I create my destiny. I have control over my life. It's the decisions that I make. Poor, broke, unsuccessful people always blame it on somebody else. It's always what my parents did. It's always this. And guess what? Psychologically, that one little thing that you're doing in the morning is setting you up for the rest of the day and the rest of your life, that I don't have control over my life. You're subconsciously not, and you know what subconscious means, that you're not saying it out loud, but in your mind, you're telling yourself that somebody else has more power over me than I do, because I'm getting up looking at my phone before I even stretch and say thank you to God or just declaring my day. So please, if you come to the seminar, December 7th at the Micro Business Center on Jackson Street in Albany, Georgia, 6 o'clock p.m., I'm going to show you something that will totally blow your mind. It's called the irritation list, something that I promise you will blow your mind. It will actually help you in transitioning your mindset. And mindset doesn't change overnight, because if you're 20, 30, 40 years old, it took you 20, 30, 40 years old to get where you are. So it's not going to happen overnight, but there are rapid, massive action plans, maps that can get you going and get you a lot further than where you are now in a short period of time, if you're just willing to do it. So I need you to come to that seminar, December 7th, okay? Don't become weary and well doing, where it's okay for you to, it's so many people I know that it's okay that if we have enough money to, put some meat on the grill every once in a while, or take somebody out for their birthday, even if it's on a credit card, or go on vacation when everybody else is on vacation, struggling in the long lines in the hot sun, rather than in the middle of the year when everybody's at work. You get a cheaper price, okay? You're not paying full price. Mindset of the wealthy. The lines are shorter. You're not burning up in the hot sun. Just thinking differently, okay? Outside of the norm. You're not thinking like the 95%, the people that are in the traffic jam. You're doing something differently, and you would never know this stuff unless you get around somebody who's willing to share it. I'm willing to share it. I want you to be free, financially free, professionally free, to do what you love what you do, add value to the world, be at peace when you lay down at night, be able to rest and get up when you wake up, not when your alarm clock gets up, this type of thing, okay? And I'm not telling you to be a lazy bum, because when you love what you do, you're going to find a way to make it happen. I'm still doing my life work. I don't call it a job because it's not a job, okay? I do my life work. I do seminars. I do trainings. It's a lot of stuff that I do. I do consulting, and I love to do it. And I'm always going to do that. So I'm not telling you to be a lazy bum. The Bible says that you're worthy of your hire. And it also says that it's a great pleasure in life to enjoy the fruits of your labor. But I'm telling you, you can do something that makes you feel alive, that you want to get up and go to work. And because you do that, you're going to develop yourself in it, and you're going to therefore serve your clients and the people you serve better, because you're going to want to do it, and you're going to study and make yourself better and better when you love to do what you do. So really, like I said, I want to make this short because I know people need to get back to their cooking and their prepping or their packing so they can go visit family. Just getting ready to celebrate the holidays. I feel freaking awesome. I have my family around me. I'll travel to see some more of them. It's great. My life is freaking awesome. God is awesome. And I want you to feel alive and just thrive rather than survive. God created us. I want to take part of my motto at Milk and Honey Success Education. I take 9-to-5ers and turn them into 3-to-5ers. 9-to-5, working a 9-to-5 job. Some people just fell into a job. They went for the first job that would pay the bills. That's how our education system is set up, rather than teaching people to find their passion and become better and better at it, because people will find you when you raise your energy and you develop a way to be the best at what you do. But a lot of times people just like, I'm trying to find a job. You talk for years, I don't know, I just want to find a good job. What are you going to school for? I don't know. My mom said this, rather than finding their passion. So December 7th, I have the Few/Stacks and Stocks seminar, 6 o'clock to 7:30 between 7:30 and 8 p.m. Micro Business Center, 230 South Jackson Street, Albany, Georgia. You have to register. Go to my website, www.milkandhoney.com. That's MILKANDHUNEE.com. So honey is spelled a little differently for several reasons, but go today. If you didn't catch it, go to my Facebook page. It's on there several times. You'll see the flyer. There are about 12, 13 spots remaining. I like to overbook a little bit, so maybe about 18. You have to register. There will be free giveaways, thousands of dollars. Yes, thousands of dollars are real free giveaways. When you're blessed, you can bless other people to show people that it's real. So there will be free giveaways. There will be powerful information that will absolutely change your life, no matter what level you're on. So please come out and register. You have to be there on time to qualify for the giveaways. You also have to be there through entirety to get the giveaways, because I like to teach people how to be present. When you're there, be there, okay? Being present, being somewhere and not being present causes a lot of accidents. It causes people to get burned, it causes people to get choked, car accident. Being somewhere but not being present is how we lose out a lot on our development and growth. So I urge you, please get there on time. Register first of all, and you'll get a confirmation email if you go to my website. Register for that. Also, I just want to let you know, because my last book, Better Than Average, Success Principles for Achieving Notable Success in Every Area of Your Life. Because I'm a teacher, my job is to learn and then break it down to a level that makes people want to learn and where they can apply it. Everybody doesn't like to learn, but just like everybody doesn't like health, but the doctor's job is to give it to them on a level where they want to do the right thing. So this is a very brief, easy to read book. Even a teenager can read it. So holiday season is coming up. I'm a giver. I want to give. So I have this special coming up, and I'll tell you when it's over. It's probably going to be probably about mid-December. But if you purchase one of these Better Than Average books, okay, you get one free. So it's only $19.95, and I promise you, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars of information here. Okay, stuff that I learned through tens of thousands, and I'm talking outside of my formal degrees. Okay, my college degrees, trainings and certifications that I gained through personal and business development seminars. I spent tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of hours doing this, and the information I have is for you. When the Bible says that God will give us houses that we did not build, okay, that's when you go to seminars and you read books. You get the opportunity. Look at this. Look at how wonderful this is. Look at this principle. If you've never seen it this way, when you read a book or attend a seminar, watch a video on YouTube, a lot of stuff is free now. Okay, you get to learn in a sitting, okay, in 2 or 3 days or however long it takes you to read the book, what it took people lifetime, decades, months, years, bruises and burns and heartaches and pains and hundreds and thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars to learn, they're willing to share it with you a lot of times for $19.95 or $500 in a seminar, or $19.95 for a video. That is freaking awesome. That's bananas that God allows us to have houses we didn't build, okay? Things that we didn't have to go through. Yes, experience is the best teacher, but it does not always have to be your experience or my experience. I can learn from a mentor. I can learn from somebody who has done it wrong, okay? So just $19.95, great book, okay? You can go on my website, www.milkandhoney.com, pay for it, and you will get a copy free. If you want to give it to your children, you want to gift it. A lot of times I stop giving, especially graduates and things, money, okay? You can teach a man to fish, or you can give him a fish. Now, I know sometimes people, and I'm glad I said that, because it brings me to something I forgot. You can give people money when they're in dire need because they need food, they need clothing. The Bible even says it this way. Don't try to minister to somebody spiritually when you have not ministered to them physically. People are not going to hear you when they're hungry. You look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs. At the bottom are those physical needs. You have to feel safe. You have to be warm and fed. Okay. While a lot of people came up with these programs in school systems to have free meals and do this kind of thing, because I'm not going to listen to you. Okay. You can't give me anything spiritually, anything mentally and business wise, if I'm asking you or telling you that I'm hungry, or you can see on my face that I haven't eaten or I haven't showered or that kind of stuff. So that's one reason you need to get wealthy. That's one reason that you need to have your money working for you, so you can be free not only to give your time, but also give money to people that are in need, whether it's in your own family or whether it's doing mission work or, whatever. So that's the thing. You're not going to feed. Nobody's going to listen. But when you have that moolah, people will listen to you. I've ministered to people by leaving them a great, incredible tip that they never even thought it was possible. And they would come to me crying and that kind of stuff. Those are open doors. Okay. Your gifts make room for you. And it's not just your gifts on the inside of you. The gift that you give to people will also make room for you and bring you before great men. So if you want to get this, just $19.95, you will buy one, you will get one free. And like I said, I'll probably cut this off maybe about mid-December, December 15th or something like that. So go to my website, because I don't give people fish a lot of times. Now, if they need a fish and they're in dire need, yes, but I want to teach you how to fish. A lot of times giving them that fish opens the door for you to teach them how to fish. But you got to have some fish to give away first. So as I quoted in a post that somebody told me, and it wasn't my words, but somebody said the best way to help the poor is to not be one of them, okay? Somebody's got to take care of the poor, so you can't take care of the poor if you're one of them, okay? It's okay. We have a beautiful government that pays for programs. Like I said, when I was young, I benefited from welfare programs and things like that, okay? It's okay that I have to give to that through my tax dollars and that kind of stuff, or that I do it through my church, or that I do it on my own, because I'm blessed. I have no problem with doing that. But it gives me the opportunity to minister to people, to say, hey, listen, okay? What the Bible say? I think it's John 12:32. Jesus said, if I be lifted up from the earth, I will draw all men unto me, okay? Not just lifted up like praising with your hands. And my pastor was talking about this earlier. But the life you live, when people look at you and say, wow, she's not wanting for anything. She's at peace. She's living her dream. She's doing this. She blesses other people so freely. When she opens her mouth, the gift of God comes to life, whether that person is a musician, whatever, okay? If God's lifted up from the earth, he'll draw all men unto you. If you're doing what God told you to do, you're glowing, you're shining, as my pastor said tonight at Thanksgiving communion service. Not only financial wealth, but your internal wealth will shine, and people will be drawn to God's excellence and his principles in you. Not to you, but they will see you doing your thing for God and being able to bless people, riding in what you want to ride in, doing what you want to do, having the freedom that you have, and God will get the glory, because they will come closer to you to learn how to fish after you give them that fish. So please, this promotion, limited time, so please go ahead and do that. Buy one, get one for somebody, give that to them. Please sign up for the seminar. I said I was going to make this about half the time that I usually do, but I'm almost at an hour. So 48 minutes, I'm cutting it short. Okay. So I usually go an hour, a little over an hour. Please give it to your family, celebrate, take your gratitude to another level, because gratitude is a way of life. It's not just one day out of the year or one season out of the year. My life is freaking awesome. It's because God is awesome. It's because God is amazing. Have a great night, a wonderful Thanksgiving, and a beautiful life.